Hello, everybody. Sorry for the little delay again. I kind of forgot, but now we're going to continue the series. I will still continue the Skullcard series, but I'm still blunt on ideas. Okay? So don't hate me for this. Okay, let's get into the story. The next day, Izuku woke. When he woke, he decided, in his mind, it's, I have to get stronger. I have to get stronger to protect myself and others. So what he did, he got his hoodie and left it sticking out his door for his mother. He left a note on it. He left a note in his room for his mother, telling her, "I'll be gone for a while. You don't have to worry." By the way, I'm gonna say also, Deku, when he teleported, if you wonder why he didn't use teleportation for all times he got bullied, yeah, he could only use it like twice a day. And also, after Izuku and his hoodie on, he teleported all the, he teleported out of his house and then walked all the way to the forest. It was nearby. Plus, I'm just gonna say that I'm gonna say there's a forest. And that forest was large. It was pretty large. And Izuku, he wa- he is gonna start the 10-month training there. The first few days, he was just using his bone attacks for more things like that, like attacking and blocking. But then, the first animal he encountered was a was a was an animal with a plant-like quirk, like flowers. If you know what it is, then you know who his abilities are. He saw his HP. He did not think he'd be able to survive. His damage was way much higher than his. I'm gonna say that his damage was 25, and his defense was 10. And he kept dodging the attacks that the little animal threw at it. It connected some hits with it as well, but not a lot. It kept using its vines to stop the bones from hitting it. And after 20 minutes of Izuku going all the way down from 20 HP to 19 HP, he was to he was in 1 HP. And then he did not want to fight this creature. He did not want to fight the quirked animal anymore, or ever. So he did the one thing he never thought he was gonna have to do: kill it. He used 8 bones to stab it. One for the head. A few of them went for its head, back, and shoulders. It was too weakened to be able to resist the attack. And then it turned into dust. All the blood that leaked down, dust. All of its attacks were withering away without it using them, without that quirked without the animal, the quirk would fade away. But then Izuku, he got a new ability, two new quirks. Actually, no, all the quirks fuse into his one quirk, so they all become into one singular quirk. What he did, when he checked his HP, it was no longer as low as it was. It was now 35. And then he ate his snack, got it all back. He was now level 2. Actually, not a little too. Yeah, he was. He was now more powerful than he was back then. Izuku knew that this might be more cruel than anything, but he would go on a killing spree of animals. In his mind, he was fighting the urge to kill or not to kill. But the other side of him won because he was able to convince them that they're just animals. They don't know what's happening to them. And Izuku's gonna be more cruel in this one, but he's still gonna be nice. But not as, he's only gonna be a little bit nice now because, killed. And only after a few months, 5 months later, he killed almost 1/4 of the animals in that forest. Inko by now found the note, and she's been waiting for him. She called the police afterwards after a day, and they are still looking for him. Bakugo didn't really care. Bakugo, when he heard the news, he said, hopefully he's dead. And Izuku, he was getting stronger and stronger. He also trained his new abilities that he got from the animals he killed. Sorry for that, my neighbors. Okay, back to story. And only after a while, he was able to master all of his new abilities and his old ones. After many months more, the police were beginning to stop looking. They were thinking that he was dead, or something else, and they gave up on the 9th month. They told Inko, "Sorry, we couldn't find it. We couldn't find your son." She broke down in tears. She still wants to know where her son is, but she still believed that he was alright. And he was more than alright. Izuku was barely the same. He was more cynical. He was less kind and less forgiving. Now, he was no longer as soft as he once was. He still had the heart of a true hero, but he built a stone wall around him to keep him safe. And one of the quirk animals that he killed had a quirk that allowed him to have company, to have a friend, to have someone that he can talk to about his problems. By that, I mean the ghost. And he got many abilities. On the last month, he trained all of them for the final time, just to make sure. He was already a master at all of his new abilities. He killed another monster. Not a monster, and then another animal. With a quirked animal, the ability it had was the caster blasters. The thing was barely a fight for him. He automatically destroyed it. Plus, yes, he still has those glowing eyes. He got them from another animal called Power Boost. When he closes his eyes red, it just boosts his power by tenfold. But if he closes his eyes red and blue and red, looking at that eye right there, you better pray that he has mercy on you, because when it comes like that, it's almost impossible to beat him. And more. I can hear my parents. Sorry about that. I'm recording this at a very late hour, so Alright, another thing. when this after Zuko was done training for those months, after all of it was complete, he trained his final ability, and then he went to UA. Now he could teleport as much as he wanted, and he could teleport anywhere as long as he knew where it was. He knew exactly where UA is and how far it is away from the forest. So getting there was nothing. He got in there and just walked in. He still had his application, and when they and then Bakugo saw him. Bakugo didn't really care. He just saw a person with a hoodie, and that's all. The hoodie was covering more of his face than was covering enough of his face so no one can notice him or know him. Know if they can remember him. If they do know him. So afterwards, he was able to do many things. On the part of the test that involved explaining that is 1 point from 1 point is the 1 point is 2 point and 3 point is 0 point is Ida still did his dumb thing by calling it out, but it was to call out Izuku, not for talking to someone. Izuku was talking to his friend, his quirk. It was sentient. It could be invisible or visible. He was talking to him about what powers they should use for this test. Izuku just rolled the glowing orbs in his eyes. He was just bored of him. And with every test, he passed way more. He was way more better at it. The test where you had to test your mind and how smart you are. Yeah, he was in the top 10. And when it came to the physical exam, and when they were given the places where they'd have to go, Izuku just teleported there, and he waited for everyone else to come. And when the gates opened, and as soon as President Mike was explaining, and after the doors only somewhat open, he just teleported right in. And everyone else was saying, "Hey, he's cheating. He's not supposed to do that, right?" And then President Mike just said, "Well, what are you waiting for? Follow that kid's advice. True heroes don't wait for someone to tell them when to go into a fight." And then they all just rushed in. But they already saw a massacre of robots. There were bones left and right. If you're wondering which kind of bones, the purple ones. I'm gonna say those bones were his second most powerful. His most powerful was red bones. Those could do a lot of damage. And the bones was sharp. The purple ones were sharp enough to go through them like a hot knife through butter. He destroyed over 20 robots by now. And after 9 minutes after 9 minutes, he just got bored and just teleported onto a building. He was just resting, talking to his quirk, and then he heard the ground shake. He was wondering what it was. Izuku just wanted to demonstrate his power, but he just didn't give a hell about how many he destroyed. Then he saw it, the 0 pointer. He didn't really care for it. He was about to teleport away, but he heard someone cry for help. The kindness in him is still there, but not enough to be kind to others. He teleported to Oraraka. He didn't. He teleported to Ochako, got her out of there, healed her leg, and to make sure the robot wasn't getting anywhere near them, he told his quirk, what he nicknamed Paps, to go fight, to go keep the 0 pointer at bay. He's using the bones that he likes, the red ones. They were going right through him like nothing was there. Izuku healed her. Izuku asked Oraka if she was injured. She said, "My knee was I twisted my knee. I can barely walk. Let's fix that." Then he just he hovered his hand over her leg, and the next thing she knew it, her leg, his hands were glowing green, and her leg was fixed. And then she thanked him and ran off. Izuku didn't really care about the Zone Porter. He didn't want to show off his power. So he told Paps to calm down and let him take over. He agreed, and Izuku used blue magic to keep it in place, and a gas blaster in the air. Many of them surrounded it, and then they all fired, destroying most of it, only leaving its hand and anything below the knee. And during the whole time, the heroes watching were amazed at Izuku's power. They want to know who he was and how he was so powerful. Then they figured out. They said, and Neza said, I do not know, but let's ask him. Let's ask him afterwards. After the test is complete, and it will be soon, so we don't have to wait too long. And then the test ended with, President X saying, "All right, the test is over," and everyone just went back. Recover Girl still healed everyone who needed healing, but Izuku just walked out of this state, just walked out. At first, he was bored. He just didn't think any of the robots were anything. Compared to what he had to fight before, they weren't too much. All they had was just their durability and just their, and stuff. And his attack, and if you want to know what his attack and defense is, they're unknown. And his HP is beyond it. It is 200 HP. I'm gonna say that its normal HP is 200, and he has a blocker. He has a blocker that's 200 HP as well. So actually being able to damage him a lot would be barely anything. You had to be very strong, like level 20, at least to take at least 1 HP. At least 1 HP. Actually, not at least, at most. So yeah. And when Izuku was about to walk out the gates, All Might and Nezu confronted him, asking him who he was and where and how is he so, and what is his quirk. He just told them, "My name is Izuku Midoriya. My quirk is bones. It allows me to summon any type of bones. I have more than one quirk." All Might was surprised about that. He knew how powerful Izuku was. But yeah, I'm gonna say that. Most are gonna say that Deku, instead of Deku again, Mirio still gets one for all. And Nezu told Izuku that, so you're the missing kid. Well, no need to wait for, you slept if you can get in or not. you already proven powerful enough. But do you want to see your slip or not? Do you want to see your results? Yes or no? He said. Then Izuku just said, "Alright, I just want to see how many machines I destroyed." And Izuku said, "Alright, it will be given to you in a week." And Izuku teleported back to his mom's house. And they were both surprised of where he went. They didn't know where he went, but they're pretty sure both of them are pretty sure that he went back to his mother's house. And that's what he did. When he came back, his mom was surprised of what she saw. She saw her son in Overt. She saw her son after 10 months of not seeing him. He took off his hoodie because he knew that it scared his mother. So he did not want to scare her the first time that she saw him again. He also made sure that he wouldn't have his eyes glowing, red. So, then he went to up, and then he knocked on the door. When Ninko responded, she asked, "Who is out there?" Izuku answered, "It's me, Mom." Ninko automatically opened the door as fast as he could and hugged her son and asked, "Where were you? Why didn't you call me?" And Izuku said, "No, I kind of forgot my phone. I forgot my phone, Mom." Wait, where even is your phone? Oh, it was in my desk. But as you know, I put it underneath my bed. I don't really know why I did that, but at least I'm here, Mom. Inko broke down in tears of seeing her son again. But after breaking down in tears, she kind of hit him over the head. Then she said, and Zuko said, "Ow, what was that for, Mom?" And sorry for that. My brothers do a lot of dumb stuff, and that's one of them. Okay, let me just get out of here and go somewhere else. Okay, back into the story. And then Izuku, and after explaining where he was and what he was doing, but he left out the part about killing animals. She was happy. She made Inko made some food for both of them, and she invited Mitsuki, or as other people call her, Bakugo's mom. She didn't bring Bakugo because she knew that he would have liked being in, because she knew that Bakugo didn't really want to go anyways. And she didn't really care about that. She just wanted to be with her friend. And when Izuku saw her, he was both happy and he got some flashbacks of Bakugo. Because literally, Bakugo and his mom look a hell of a similar. He saw Bakugo tormenting him. He wanted to use his abilities he wanted to end Bakugo. But he knew if he did that, he would never be a hero. So, he restrained himself from going to Bakugo's house. Asking Bakugo's mom where they were so he could kill Bakugo. And after they had dinner together, and Mitsuki was happy to see Izuku again after a long time. She didn't really care about him being a skeleton. And someone's coming. And after a few minutes, she left, and after a week, the the slip, to go to UA came in the mail. Plus, it's gonna be a very long one. So yeah. And after he after he was accepted. Sorry for doing that. After being accepted to UA, well, his mom was very happy for him, and she congratulated him. And let's go to the first day of UA. When he first went there, he didn't want to be bullied again, so he made sure to look as menacing as possible. He wore his hoodie and kept one of his eyes lit. Also, he could do that. The eye that's blue and red, yeah, he kept that one red. He made sure no one would mess with him or make his life hard at UA. So what he did, he was easily able to find Class 1A. And when he met the class, he was relieved that no one was gonna try to do anything to him. But he automatically thought second of that because he saw Bakugo in there. Plus, on his test, he was in the physical exam. Yeah, he was number 1. Bakugo was number 2. He was pissed off by that because Bakugo, all he saw was he just looked for his name and that's all. And when he saw he was in second place, he automatically got pissed off. Like always, he gets pissed off about everything. And when Izuku and when he saw Ida and Bakugo talking to each other, like literally, like why were they even fighting about that? Ida approached Deku and then basically said the same thing as in Canada about him being a better student than him and being able to figure out the extra points and stuff. But he said, I did not really know about that. I just saved the girl. It's not that big of a deal. And plus I'm gonna be in another type of shit, alright? Because I'm gonna do my own shit. I'm doing my own shit. And then he felt something push. Then he felt something tap his shoulder, and he saw the girl he saved. Oh, it's you. And if it did get your name, who are you? And Ochako answered, my name was Ochako Oraraka. Who are you, anyways? And thanks for saving me. But in the physical exam, he said it was no problem. And my name is Izuku Midoriya. And after saying his name, you know who came up. Aizawa. He still told him to get ready to to stop wasting time. And then Izuku, when he was given his suit, he was given his track thing. He just teleported to the boys' room, and then he just put it on. Also, he noticed the little hole. He made it. He made a bone to go through it and just stay there. And to make sure that it would, he also made a tiny caster plaster to pretty much just melt the wall a little. Not enough, to make the place unstable. And he was the first one out there. He was waiting for everyone else. And after a while, they all came with it. Aizawa was second, and the rest just everyone else. Mineta was still Mineta was just him. He tried to see if there was any holes so he could peep through. He thought he found one because he felt a little divot, and it was actually sealed off by a bone, and it was melted into the wall. So, yeah. And Izuku, Aizawa threw him the ball and said, You got the highest in the you got the highest. You got the most points in the exam. You throw the ball first. Stay in the circle, and anything goes as long as you're in there. And what he did, he used a lot of his blue, magic, or his quirk that allows him to control things. When he did that, a blue energy went around the ball, and Bakugo didn't think he would throw that far because last time that he was barely able to pull out him and also make sure the Sludgeman would not attack them. So, but he was wrongly corrected. What he did, Izuku threw that thing, and when they saw how far it went, I'm gonna say that it was infinity, because he just threw it into space. Yeah, this is gonna be a little bit of an OP kind of story. If you don't like OP kind of whatever, so you can click off. And Izuku, Bakugo still tried to attack him, but Izuku saw it coming. He stopped him with his blue, attack. By that I mean by the blue magic. And Aizawa told Bakugo if he tries to do anything like that, he'll be suspended at least. And let's give the entire thing, because I'm just gonna say Izuku just got first in most of them, actually all of them. The strength one, he just used his blue attack and just crushed the thing. The side thing, he just teleported in the two same places faster than Mineta. So he got first in that. In speed, he just used blue magic on himself and just levitated the other way. He was in second in that, behind Ida. And everything else he was, better at. And yeah. And the last one was Mineta, and they all thought, and he thought that he was gonna get expelled, but in canon, Aizawa just smiled and said, I think Aizawa just smiled and just said, none of you getting expelled. I just said that to make sure that you use as much as you had to push yourself to the limit. Izuku and Momo knew about this. And Izuku Momo said, yeah, that was pretty obvious. I didn't really use too much. I didn't really do too much with my power. And Aizawa said, yeah, by the way, you need to use more. If you don't demonstrate your entire power, then the only thing I actually do, and Izuku cut him off and said, the only thing I actually used my entire power was most of my strength was throwing that ball into orbit. And whatever he picks up with that now is just lightless. Before he had to feel the weight of he always felt the weight of what he was trying to pull apart, or pull or throw. The day ended, and Izuku was talking with Ochako and Ida. He made friends with them. And that's the end. Okay, guys. Goodbye. I'll see you in the next What If.